Your understanding of love may not be what you think it is. My question to you is, do you love yourself? Are you sure? Are you confident that you know what loving yourself really means? You may have said no to this question. The answer that came out of my mouth was, sure I do. But the answer I had in my head was, not really. When I first started my spiritual journey, I was way off the understanding of love. Luckily, I was fortunate enough to have a mentor that showed me the correct path. She gave me a set of steps that I could use to find and understand self-love. I'm going to give you those steps today in a bit. First, I'm going to shatter your understanding of love and what it is. In a society based off of materialism, many base their self-love off of tangible standards. We have been taught to do this as a calculation. We fill our bucket with traits, which we find favorable in our eyes. When the bucket is full or overflowing, we call this love. We believe that love involves emotions and behaviors. We use words like commitment, passion, and intimacy. What I'm explaining here is conditional love. But true love has no conditions. That's why it's called unconditional love. We have grown up in a society that puts conditions on love. Do this or do that. Be this or be that. The love I talk about is the love that many mothers feel at the birth of their child. It's unadulterated love. But how is this possible? There were no conditions set. No favorable traits or plateaus were reached. It just happened, like it was there all the time. In my life coaching sessions, I will normally ask a client if they love themselves. And then I'll ask, well, how do you know? Most will give me a list of conditions that make up their case. What we're really looking for is to be wanted and needed by someone or ourselves. But this has nothing to do with love. Love is a vibration. We were born with love. We had it even before we were born. Our emotions are in our bodies, and we try to deal with the emotions in our head. We are so quick to chastise someone that judges someone else, but not so quick to do this with ourselves. We judge ourselves based off the duality that society creates, and we believe it. We use different addictions to hide our emotions and numb our feelings. We have been taught to make other people responsible for those feelings. Our ego has learned many ways as a child to disengage from self-love. So I tell a story to many of my clients that I call the worthless story. Two young girls were walking down the street, and they came across this beggar. This beggar asked them for their spare change. Both girls said they were sorry because they didn't have any money. The beggar gets angry and said, "You are nothing but worthless girls." The girls quickly walk away, blowing off what the man just said to them. The girls went their separate ways. Now, when the one girl got home, her dad was waiting for her and took her out to the backyard. The night before, the dad put the trash on the back porch and asked the girl to take it out to the garbage can. Well, she forgot. Apparently, some raccoons got into the trash and spread it all around the backyard. Pop was angry. Pop was very angry. He had a hard day at work, and this was the last straw. She started apologizing, but it didn't matter. Then he said to her, "You are so worthless. I give you one simple thing to do." Now, this is a different thing in her mind. It's not a nobody on the street calling her worthless. This is her dad. She starts to cry and runs upstairs. So why is it when someone that we care about says things like this, and people that we don't know say these things, doesn't affect us? Now, what if I would say this word right here, which I'm not going to try because I would totally butcher it. Most of you don't know this language and would look at me with a strange, confused look. But what if I took that word and put it into Google Translate? You would then know that meaning, and that is where ego would go to work. So what I'm saying is that the words don't do the damage. It's the thoughts that turn into emotions that end up doing the damage. You have created this image of who you are. Basically, you have a relationship with a thought-made entity you call yourself. For some, living with this entity can be very unpleasant. Fortunately, we can write a new script for that entity. Think about this. Love has always been there. It took society to talk you out of it. Learning to re-love yourself is an important journey that requires self-reflection, compassion, and practice. Here's a few steps that you can take to cultivate self-love. The first one is practice self-care. Take care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Eat nutritious food, exercise regularly, get enough sleep, and engage in activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Taking care of yourself physically can have a positive impact on your self-image. Be careful. Your ego is going to be that little devil on your shoulder telling you that this is a waste of time. The key to emotional and mental well-being comes with cultivating mindfulness. There's that word again, mindfulness. It seems to come up in my videos almost every time. It shows you how important being mindful really is. If you want to learn how to truly be mindful, I'll have a link above to a video that will show you ways how to become more mindful. So the next one is to challenge negative self-talk. Become aware of your self-critical thoughts and work on replacing them with positive and compassionate self-talk. The word is very powerful. Your subconscious doesn't know anything about right or wrong and will take what you say as absolute. At first, when you're trying to say kind words to yourself, your mind will try to fight you on this, telling you that what you're saying is not true. Don't worry about that. These words will start to take hold. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, just as you would a close friend. Remind yourselves of your strengths, accomplishments, and value as a person. Next, you have to set healthy boundaries. Learn to say no when necessary and establish boundaries that protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Saying no can be very hard for many people. Children have been taught to do what they've been told, or there will be consequences. Recognize that it's okay to prioritize your needs and not feel guilty about doing it. Respecting your own boundaries sends a message that you value yourself. There's a fine line here. Many seem to cross that line and go way too far. Just be cognizant that you don't become a jerk. On to the next step. Practice self-acceptance. This is where many therapists and life coaches steer you in a certain direction. They will tell you to embrace your flaws and imperfections. They try to convince you to recognize that nobody's perfect, and it's okay to make mistakes and learn from them. I'm not saying that this is wrong. What I am saying is there's a higher understanding of this. There is no such thing as imperfections and flaws. Now, I know most of you are saying, well, of course there is. Hang in with me for a bit. Who has the authority to proclaim that you have a flaw? Or who can say that you have a strength? Does society have that authority? Do you? I'll tell you that no one has this authority to say so. It's like saying blue is ugly and red is beautiful. So really, there is nothing to do at this point other than catching your ego trying to convince you that you're inferior or superior over someone else. Once again, this is a mindful thing. Now, the next one is to surround yourself with positivity and high vibrational souls. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and support you. Avoid toxic relationships that bring you down or make you doubt your self-worth. Seek out positive influences, whether it's through friends, family, mentors, or even self-help books and resources. You have to understand that when we are at a low vibration, we'll seek out others with a low vibration. This is why I hear people that are in toxic relationships tell me that they don't understand why they keep getting into these relationships. Ego is afraid to look bad. It will search out other souls that are in the same vibration or lower vibration so it can look superior. Don't allow your ego to pull you into this trap. Search for powerful people that have wisdom and are filled with love. Just understand this. People that have a high vibration will make it a point not to be around people in a lower vibration for too long. Do not think that this is an outlet for you. These high vibrational souls are not there to sit with you with a bucket of ice cream and a bottle of wine, reiterating all of the things that are wrong in your life. They won't be around you for long if you do so. Make sure you treat this as an inlet to learn to raise your vibration by piggybacking on their vibration. So the next one is to engage in activities you enjoy. Spend time doing the things that bring you happiness and fulfillment. Pursue hobbies, interests, and passions that ignite your curiosity and make you feel alive. By engaging in the activities you love, you reinforce a positive connection with yourself. It's usually at this point that I will hear my clients tell me that they don't have any hobbies or interests. And I say, come on, you can't think of just one? I will push them and give them the silent treatment while staring at them. And as uncomfortable as this may seem, I usually get well, I used to, or I kinda like. The next one is another one that most therapists will steer you to try, and that is to practice forgiveness. Most people blame themselves for the past mistakes or things that seemingly have gone wrong in their life. Self-blame is a sticky thing. One holds onto grudges or regrets that can hinder their ability to love and accept yourself fully. We are in a learning facility. Each thing we do allows our soul to expand. When we buy into society's right and wrong, we are learning to become fragmented because we don't see the lesson when we believe that we have done wrong. It passes us right by. What I suggest is going back into your memories to pick out those times that you thought you did wrong and look for the lesson. You will be amazed with what you have overlooked. Now, the next one is a hard pill to swallow. Seek support if needed. Your ego loves to tell you that you are weak if you need help. This cannot be further from the truth. One that seeks help shows massive strength and wisdom. If you're struggling with self-love, consider reaching out to a therapist, life coach, or support group. They can provide guidance, tools, and a safe space to explore your feelings and experiences. Sometimes professional help can be beneficial in the journey of self-discovery and self-acceptance. Just remember this. Many therapists and life coaches are there looking for just another client. One that truly wants to help you can be hard to find. Try to use your intuition on these people. If you have a hard time with this, I suggest going for the support groups. Remember, self-love is within you. It always has been. Sometimes it takes time and effort to cultivate this understanding. Be patient with yourself and celebrate the progress you make along the way. You deserve love and happiness just as much as everyone else. I have a link in the description below if you'd like to set up a free consultation with me. Also, this link here will help you to cultivate your mindfulness journey.